Hello, Clintonian here. Happy Friday. Want to leave you with another redemptive reflection. Maybe just talk a little bit. So yesterday I was catching up with my niece. One of my nieces, and she's actually the niece of my ex-wife. And we were going back and forth, and she was telling me how my ex, I guess, still basically talks shit about me. And it's not a really good story though. So I have like this 16-year-old daughter, my ex-wife, and after we had divorced a couple of years later, and I had moved on, my ex, she could not accept the fact that I'd met someone else and I was happy. And so, in her quest to make me unhappy, she had falsely accused me of molesting, our daughter. At that time, I mean, she might have been like 7 or so, 8. Anyway, so cut through the chase, Cliff Notes. We went to court. I was exonerated, and my ex-wife, she lied under oath, and the DA told me that she was lying. The police said she was lying. Child Protective Services, I mean, they all knew that she lied. Now, in Los Angeles, their system is so backed up that, you know, they don't really have the resources or time to go after people like this, women, when they make these false claims. And this is the oldest trick in the book, which is why a lot of women do that too. Now, I'm not talking about women who report people. Maybe there is, hey, that's what that's for. But you're actually you're abusing the legal system, and you're stealing valuable resources away from children who really do need to be protected, and they need that help. They need that, legal intervention, to get them out of harm's way. So when you do something like that, just out of pettiness or vindictiveness, I mean, you're not only hurting that person and hurting your child, but you're also hurting innocent children, too, as well. Uh, I had the option to pursue her. I could have nailed her ass to the cross and ruined her life because of what she did. I chose not to because she's the mother of my daughter, and I didn't want to hurt my little girl's mom. But I could have, but I didn't. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna, let it go. But I find out that, and even after the case was over, she was still talking shit. But I just found out yesterday that it's like 10 years, since we've been divorced, and she's still talking shit. And so I was telling my niece, which is her niece, I said, I ain't gonna worry about it. And I just want to leave you guys with this thought though. Sometimes when people think that when they do you dirty, and they think that they're burying you, they're really not. What they're doing is they're planting the seeds of their own karma. And so I was sharing with my niece, I said, hey, I didn't do anything about it, and I'm not going to do anything about it. So I'm just going to leave it up to karma and, leave it up to God. I said, I don't need to get revenge, everything will sort itself out, in the end. And I said, hey, actually, I don't hate her. I said, I actually periodically, every now and then, I actually say a prayer for her. I pray for her. I pray for her happiness. I pray for her health. And I come in a spirit of love. Now, I'm no longer in love with this woman. We're not married. I love her as a general, like a human being, whatever. And God has commanded us or advised us, whatever, to love one another. So that's what I try to do. And sometimes it's hard to love some people, but yeah, hey, you gotta come in spirit of love. So, and it's much easier too when you do that, because when you hold on to bitterness or hatred or resentment, man, it just like eats you away. And after she had done that to me in the beginning, for the first couple of years, yeah, I had a really hard time, even though I decided not to press charges against her. But it was still very hard for me not to feel some like anger or resentment. But it was only eating away at me when I did, and I had to let it go. And so, if someone's done you wrong, you got to let it go. You got to forgive, and you're not really forgiving them for their sake. Although, okay, that's a good thing to do. You're really, when you forgive people, you forgive them for your sake, so that you can have peace, inner peace, and you don't want to let dis-ease, mental dis-ease, impact you, so that it manifests into a disease. So I'm going to leave you with that, but just something to think about. They say no good deed goes unpunished. Okay, but no bad deed goes unpunished either. All right. So just let you guys let that sizzle in your spirit. Have a beautiful weekend, and yeah, just let it go, and give it to God, the universe, whatever, and things will work themselves out. In the end, justice. I mean, always. Sometimes it's slow, but it does come. All right. So that's it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Bye.